Good morning. My name is Mark Brunton. I'm the Operations Section Chief for CAL Fire Incident Management Team 3. I'll be giving you the operational update for August 18th. For our fire, again, we're set into two zones, an east and west zone. Incident Management Team 3 is responsible for the west zone. Just going to go around and explain what happened within the past day and what we're looking forward to today. So the Butte sector continued in a patrol status, turned over to the Butte unit. Pretty static, nothing going on there. Westwood Sector, which is the middle of the fire, everything's holding really well to the west, which we've been sitting on and mopping up for the past number of days. That's looking really good. The west shore of the lake continued mop-up patrol, pretty much just strictly in a patrol status. That's looking very solid, very good, and no issues there. Moving out of the peninsula, Westwood, Hamilton Branch communities. Again, no impact to those communities. We've had resources in there, continuing patrol and that sort of thing. And basically our line of between the Lassen Sector and Westwood Sector is Highway 36. Firing operation along Highway 36 was completed yesterday, and it's been in a mop-up phase to buffer that in so that any large island of fuel, of the timber and so forth, what we've had challenges with this fire, getting in there and with the wind events, throwing embers, long distances, spots, and creating greater fire activity. So we finally had to make a decision and had to burn that out. So that's burned in. That provides a good level of protection from any southern push of the fire into the peninsula or those other communities. So that is rendering that safe. Along the southern end, that is a shared area with the east zone. That has been a continual work in progress, and we have good line all through there, and it's a continued mop up. A few little spots in interior to that, but no factor, and that's going to be completely buttoned up here shortly and have a nice solid block, so that'll isolate those communities and protect them from any push of fire from the south. Moving east, this Duffy group moving into the area around near Susanville. We've been able to keep the fire out of those major drainages, the Susan River and the Cheney drainages. And the fire laid down quite a bit. We were expecting some significant winds yesterday to challenge us. We were well prepared for that, able to surge resources, put in lines and so forth to protect those communities. Fortunately, in a way, that we had heavy smoke from other fires, and that heavy smoke dampened down the ability for those winds to surface. So we never saw those heavy winds. So although we were under heavy smoke, it really reduced the wind that was on this fire, which was a big help for us yesterday. So that really dampened that down. Today, this is a number one priority in the Westwood group to getting this button up. We were able to go direct, and so we're going to make really good progress today, I believe, and being able to reduce this and thereby effectively reduce the threat to the community of Susanville. Continuing east, we have the Janesville branch. That's been in play for a number of days as far as preparation for it, with good plans, surging of resources there in the community, protecting it, putting in some control lines. And that proved very effective for us, so that when we saw a spot fire from the main fire a couple days ago that got established, it challenged those lines. We surged our resources as per our plan. A lot of success in saving a huge amount of structures. There was some loss to the fire, but far south and near 395. Fire did cross 395 a couple nights ago, able to pick up a lot of that. And then all through yesterday, slow progression, but we did have, in this part of the fire, where we did see most wind, it was down here. The wind did pick up and push it. It is a different fuel type, so it's what we call light flashy fuel, the types of brush and so forth versus the timber. So it moved rather quickly. We, again, surged resources. We had some plans in place, and we were able to basically parallel that fire front along 395 with a few spots over. And so that's still going to be it's got some open line. We were able to herd it around structures, especially near the community of Milford. So very limited structural loss there, mainly some outbuildings. And we have inspectors that are going to be out inspecting the damage for that, but saved a lot of structures, those folks last night in their suppression activity. Today, it's going to be a similar thing. We're trying to find avenues to be able to cut off that fire, but From the east zone, as this fire tends to move and hook, we're going to be paralleling 395 for quite a ways, but fortunately, it is a good area for us to be able to fight fire, flatter terrain, easier fuels to fight fire in. And so that will be a focus, another priority for us to maintain that. And eventually we're going to get to a point where the fuels will reduce greatly enough where we will be able to stop and then start working our way in and work with the east zone to cut that off. So that's the Westwood sector. Moving on to the Lassen sector up north, we had the lightning strike from a few days ago that we had some increased activity over the past couple of days. Did a firing operation a couple of days ago along 89 to 36 that helped box this in. We saw significant activity pick up last night. It did get some wind on it. Had some spotting down into Childs Meadows. We were able to surge resources again, pick up a lot of that. So we didn't really lose anything to the west. There was some evacuations that were pulled a couple days ago, and then were increased for Mill Creek, a couple of those other small communities. And however, we were able to really jump on that and pick up those spots. So that's going to be a huge priority for us today. Is this part of the fire to keep this cut out and to keep any sort of western spread of the fire. It did threaten a little bit our heli base, but that was secured, and so we were able to maintain that. Moving into the park, there was some spread of fire within the park, but again, we're holding it with the lines in place there, and their proposed lines, and they have a really good plan continuing to protect the park. The fire does, although moves into the park from that lightning spot, that basically good lines for us to be able to pick up. The fuels change, topography changes to our favor. Moving into Romeo, again, challenged with some winds. There were some spots in there. We do have a large contingency line. We did have some spots in there. Good news, they've been able to pick up all those spots throughout, so that's looking really good. Same with moving into Tango, some spots over the line, but vigilant crews jumping on those, taking care of those. So that's just going to be continued work in progress as the wind challenges us in that area. And then down to Uniform, as I said, burned in that line along 36. So with the weather, we're going to see some slight wind increases. There was a red flag warning for the western part of the valley, Sacramento Valley, that came into play. So technically, we are on a red flag. However, that should not have a significant effect on our fire. We're already expecting those weather conditions, low humidities, some wind, dry, a little cooler temperature-wise. The wind's coming more out of a northeast direction, little change there, but we'll challenge our lines a little bit, particularly over here in the Lassen sector. However, we're ready for it. We do have resources that we are able to surge and take effect of where we can put our priorities. Aircraft, the one good thing, the air is clearing today. We don't have all the smoke that we've been seeing over the past few days. So this should provide us an opportunity to have more widespread use of our aircraft that we have not enjoyed throughout. And so we are going to fly that aircraft, both the fixed wing and the rotor wing, as much as we possibly can today to meet our priorities, meet our mission in the suppression of this fire. Thank you.